Alrighty, here we go. Alrighty, ladies and gents. Today is the day. It's finally going down. Every day for the last week that I've streamed this game, I've always thought that I was closer to hitting Endwalker than I actually was. But I just went online and looked it up a minute ago. And if I am on the quest that I do believe I'm on, then I'm only like 11 quests away from finally hitting Endwalker. I'm super pumped about that. How many people in the queue today? 15? Not too shabby, if I might say so myself. Update the description there. God, man, all this dead skin on my hands is killing me. Righty though. Ta-da! Oh, wait a minute. You know, I am actually going to adjust this hotbar. So it's the one that has that and the number 1 on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna put that one Control R for my sprint. That way I don't gotta click on the sprint button every time. Because it gets kind of annoying sometimes. Oh, that's her name, Lucia. Good day to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that you would be attending the meeting in El Amigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him? To what then do we owe the pleasure of your visit? I see. No, we were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich only to find him absent? In any event, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. Oh, it's so nice to not have to click the button every time. Oh, actually, while I'm here... might as well pick that up. You know, since I'm standing right there anyways. Oh, nope. No. I guess you can't sort your key items tab? I didn't know that. It's good to know. ski da da dee da bum ski da da dee da bum ski da da dee da bum ski da da. Acha! Hello, Governor. Voice acting? Oh.
No sign of him.
Nice.
Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
Unless they didn't know that he came back, like, most people might not even know what he looks like. There he is. I recognize that armor anywhere,
First
bro.
the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you.
Yes, it's...
I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Too long?
God, look at her having a crane her neck.
You look an
at
ilm
him.
taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino.
He thinks
Quieter,
that she's
though.
Alpha now.
Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
Oh, shit.
I am not Alphino!
Oh, you done pissed her off, buddy.
If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side. To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
Oh, that's funny.
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
Was it Aaron or Aaron? Because Alphino says Arenvald, but she definitely just said, Arenvald, but she definitely just said Arenvald. I think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them.
I wouldn't be so sure. He still loves nothing better than the sound of his own voice.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azisla.
Azisla? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azizla, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation?
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azizla together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard.
Oh shit, she said I will kill your ass. He's like, so be it.
I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
Maybe not to you.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt?
Okay. It has been quite some time since last I stepped foot in Azizla. But I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? If we did, we wouldn't have had to come here. Of course, duh. Alas not, we had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Psychotic is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Even now, she remains a prisoner of the Allegan Empire. Ever since the end of the war with Maricidia, yes. To have been held captive for so long. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her even now. I see, then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Needhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Yeah, righteous indignation. That's the one I thought I was going to. Tiamat awaits this way. I've got to go and do fates in certain areas to get the crystals I need to get those nodules so that I can that way I can finish the Heaven's Ward relic weapon. So after dropping it, when I pulled it out of the fridge, let's see if this explodes on me or not. Please don't explode. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, children of man? Nice, no explosion. I'll take it.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Yeah, bomb has been defused, right? It was sitting there for like 10 minutes. 15 minutes-ish, so... makes sense that it didn't explode. If it was Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew or something, it would have blew up anyways. Yeah, I believe the quest I'm doing now leaves me with like, I think after this one it's just 10 quests left. Here, let me double check. That my sins should be repeated. I sensed not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Marasidia, our children. Oh, so I'm actually farther in than I thought I was. I'm doing righteous indignation now. Okay, so after this one, there's 1, 2, 3, so I got 6 quests left after this one. And then we'll be into Endwalker. The Icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Allegans' dark designs. I like how they brought stuff back into the storyline from previous expansions. Like what happened with the Dragon Song War and Bahamut and Needhogg and Tiamat, and now like they're bringing Tiamat and this like resurrected evil form of Bahamut back in. Like I like how they did that. That's pretty cool.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Yes, the dragons of Marasidia are at the mercy of this Ashian. There can be no other explanation. Accursed Ashians, vile minions of darkness. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What wouldst thou have from me, Slayer of Dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Marasidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
That answer your question? Are we gonna set her free? Is that what's gonna happen? Please tell me we're about to have this big badass looking dragon on our side. Bro, I'd be so happy. Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but words shall have to suffice. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed, ask the Dragon Slayer and he will tell thee the power we of the first brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. The prison shall be my tomb. Are we really thinking about doing this?
On the matter of
Stream
Bahamut's
rate.
influence, at least, I believe we can
up,
be of
buddy?
some assistance.
Yeah.
If you're
It's been
afraid
some time
of
since we've
being
gone on Final
enthralled,
Fantasy. You know what?
don't
Screw it, I'm
be.
getting on.
We have a cure. And while we've
Yeah,
never
should
tried
still
it
be
on
on.
one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Man, I'm gonna have to turn you up a little bit. I can't barely hear what you're saying.
Alright, I need to go get my password from my password library, because I do not remember this one. It's so complicated, even I don't remember it.
Okay, that should be okay. Okay. Speakest thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the
You'll
past.
probably hear me mute myself a few times while you're in the voice chat. So
That
I
you
can read
committed
the
a
text
terrible
lines
sin,
and
I do
stuff
not
when they
dispute.
come up.
Yeah,
But
I
if
get-
you feel remorse,
Look at-
you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain
I know I
a
was gonna
prisoner,
do a
not of these
playthrough
cruel
for,
shackles, but of
Final
your own
Fantasy
guilt.
15. Because honestly, I feel like that game got more hate than it probably should have. Just because of the fact that, like, it was the first, main numbered game to do a combat style that was different than, like, the turn-based that it always has been. So, I don't know. I always thought that the storyline for Final Fantasy 15 wasn't that bad, and I really liked the way they did the combat. So, I was thinking about doing a playthrough for it, but I wanted to at least, get through this, get through this prologue, get into Endwalker and stuff, and then I can kind of bounce back and forth between the two until I, make it through Endwalker. A chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. I still really want to do a playthrough for the new Prince of Persia game too, The Lost Crown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does throw me off that it's more of like a Metroidvania, like 2D side-scroller style game, rather than like how the original Prince of Persia games were. But I heard that story was really good too. And I like the Prince of Persia universe. I enjoyed the first game, so... When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. We're about to break this dragon out. We're about to break her out of prison, aren't we? Son of a bitch, it's gonna be so dope. Imagine a cutscene of our character riding into battle on the back of this big-ass dragon. Like, dude, that'd be so dope.
That's more of a Justinian thing to do.
Yeah. Well, didn't we do the same thing with Midgardsormr, I do believe, during the Dragon Song War on Heavensward, right? Was it us that went riding into Ishgard on the back of the dragon, or was it Estinian? I forget. I think it was us, though.
During the Dragon Song War, I think that was actually... No, but at that time, Estini was actually possessed by Nidhogg.
Yeah, so I think
Running
it
on the
was
back of
us.
Hraesvalgr, I think it was.
Yeah. But well, because I remember during Heavensward, I remember there was a cutscene where where like it was either us or Estinian, but I think it was our character came riding into Ishgard on the back of the dragon, and like originally people started freaking out about it until they realized that like we were with the dragon and that it was friendly and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it was us that came riding on the back of the dragon. could be wrong, but pretty sure it was us. While Porxies have been shown to be effective in curing the temper, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Elegants kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphino and Psychotic here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in the prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the Flagship. Ah, yes, we are familiar with it, the Aetherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Urian-J, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels and the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions. Having identified me as being of royal blood and armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Agreed, we will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. I know I still gotta go and do the fucking, I guess there's a bunch of fates that I gotta go and do so that I can get these different, like, elemental crystals that I need to get the, astral and umbral nodules so that I could finish the relic weapon for Heaven's Ward. I could always skip it and just do the Shadowbringers one, but I heard it's easier to do like the next expansion's relic weapon if you have the previous one. Flying upwards. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints, but should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Run away! I can't go in here, right? No. Okay, I didn't think so. Data link with the Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advised deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. Yeah. Scheduled Dragon restraint maintenance due in 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. I am afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising, almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the note of which Graha spoke. And it was chirping? Chirruping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Welcome, Psychotic Juggalo. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? Update the system. I could hazard a guess. Well, that's more than I can say, confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. So, can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Of course, after the thing's sitting there for so long, you know, it's not a surprise that it needs a system update. Only makes sense. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Yeah, I figured it would be a little bit away. Wait, how the hell do I get in there? Oh, there it is. Let's see, according to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 42.002, of course. Warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years, 1 day. Oh, we don't have that much time. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. While I can't imagine it will have changed all that much, as long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spear vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. We're getting there, man. Figuring out how to set Tiamat free. Just taking some time to do the system update and shit. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Elegant Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Asians.
Interesting.
And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Asians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Van Daniel? Will you try to reach out to him too?
Oh, let's just play wide. I'm getting cold air on me.
Huh.
My fan was
I'd
never
rather
on.
put my lance through his heart and be done with it. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in
That's
people,
better.
even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Man, I always thought that Aziz La was like one of the coolest looking areas in the whole game. Just giant floating islands inside of like a void space. It looks awesome. Justinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere? Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning, I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely, that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk, it's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints as ethereal dampers. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Ah, such warmth! The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten? A war with the men of Alag? Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories, or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Psychotic, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Wicked, bloodthirsty creatures, not content with their own lands, they brought fire and death to Marasidia, our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Marasidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlian scholar Rarusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of men arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind. And as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, And soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none can see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the men of Alag slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear when this is over. Keep going, LSA. The magic is working. Alright, real quick before we continue on, I just gotta use the bathroom real quick. Give me 1 second, buddy. I'll be right back. Just gotta go use the bathroom real fast. seconds. Dad wanted to talk to me for a second, so it took me a second to get back. Alright, I'm back. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close, I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here we go. So what are you playing right now?
I'm on the game right now. On myself.
Oh. I know I've been playing a lot of RuneScape lately. Old ass.
Currently doing a
fucking-
trial roulette.
Oh, nice.
Ugh, no. I'm
I need to get stuff so I can continue my Mandeville gun.
This is it, Angelo!
We give her ether and she looks like she's about to transform into a fucking Super Saiyan. She's got this glowing light all around her now. Crazy. Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip growing weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Here we go, getting ready to remove the shackles. Let's see what happens. Gotta fight a big ass dragon or not. Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time.
Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, here we go.
Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Find out she was tricking us the whole time. She fucking eats everybody. Could you imagine?
Plot twist.
Right. Bam! Game over. No more Warrior of Light. Endwalker and Dawn Trail canceled.
Well, I mean,
Obviously
can't
not,
quite.
but
Well, obviously not. Yeah. Can't plot twist something that happened years ago.
big old dragon roar. What's gonna happen? Estinian's ready to stab her in the face. Bahamut, my beloved. For vengeance and atonement, I rise. And atonement. That's a good sign.
By the gods!
She's fucking huge. I swear she's bigger than Bahamut, Hraesvelgr, and Midgard.
Urianger,
She looks
your
like
timing
the
could not be
biggest
better.
one. I mean, she is the
Understood, we're on our
mother
way.
of the brood, like the original mother of the brood, so it
It's
makes sense
Bahamut.
that
He's been
she would
sighted
be
over
huge.
Pagelthan.
Oh no.
He flies for the largest Amalja settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Oh shit.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Oh, Estinian's... Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I thought Estinian... Oh, he does! He jumps on her back!
Again, a very Estinian thing to do.
That dude is so badass, man. Him and Thancred are like my favorite characters. Fucking awesome.
Oops.
While I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less.
Really already have that.
With Lunar Bahamut bound for Pagelthan, Grahatia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions.
Oh, never mind. I know what that's for.
I have already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Old Daw in the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. Let's do it. Pick up Alphino and go to war. Let's go. I'm ready to kick some ass. I already beat Bahamut in all of his coils. Oh, it just automatically teleports me there? That's cool. Time saver, I guess. Now, I know some of you could do with the rest, but I'm sorry to say the Telephoroi have other plans. Pagelthan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Cherupin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. 'Tis good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Hey, it's the Sultana. What do you know? Right as Alice was about to talk some shit about her. Your Grace. Marshal Cherupin had made provisions for such an exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the Syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other Alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagelthan. Even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite our proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalji show any signs of tempering. Strange, what primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it's incapable of doing so? Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Psychotic and others like him wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare far better, assuming that is, you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray, set forth as soon as you are able. Yeah, we're gonna have to fight Bahamut again. I can feel it. It's gonna be an awesome fight.
Excuse me.
I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. And you, Sultana. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget Ehrenwald and Fordola are in Pageltan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed, to the airship then. Ba-da-da-dum-bum. Ba-da-da-dum. Okay. I could have swore there was a crystal, like, right around here somewhere. No, it's this way, I guess. Oh wait, that's right, I could just go and take the lift. There they are. Greetings, we've been expecting you, but say the word and we shall depart for Pagelthan at once.
Victory will be ours!
I stand ever ready.
Let's give it our all!
I always end up doing the MSQ dungeons. I always end up doing them with a party of NPCs instead of actual players. I don't know why, but I always do.
Well, I was actually well enjoying.
There she is. I feel like it's mainly because, like, at least the NPC, like, healer actually heals me. And I feel like I do it because I would rather have the NPCs than end up getting some, like, shitty healer that's not gonna do his job properly. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I feel like that's probably...
Honestly, this is why I switched to warrior. I can be a little independent.
Yeah,
Because I've been, like, in some cases, I've actually been able to solo fights just because one button gives me enough survivability where I don't die for X number of seconds. They just can't do enough damage to me because there's too many of them to be able to damage me fast enough. And I know that's reverse psychology there. But that's why... What's the original button's name again? Raw Intuition, which becomes Bloodwetting at level 82, is kind of broken.
Yeah. Well, there's a few things that are kind of broken with the when it comes to the warrior class. For example, just the self-sustainability itself is like crazy.
That's exactly what I was referring to, because you just hit that button and then you just literally instant full health, and you stay full health for the next X number of seconds. And with bloodletting, you can actually have it go even longer because it gets just enough of a time window where you can throw in an additional weapon skill so you get even more health regen. On top of getting a shield, which breaks incredibly quickly, but excuse me. Really not that one yet. That one.
Get rid of this dragon first.
The gloves are off.
There we go.
The thing is, when it comes to AI versus players, it does take like a good 5 to 10 minutes longer easily.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Whereas players, you get it done much faster.
Oh, I'm sure.
The problem is, it's also much larger than learn mechanics because the AI is kind of cheese it for you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
I was literally just stop
longer.
everything and then do mechanics.
Yeah, like it takes longer to do it with the NPCs, but I also feel like it's safer to do it with the NPCs.
In a way, it is. I mean, as a tank, it's more like what I felt with Dark Knight. I mean, it's like, it's big gamma what kind of heal you get with you. So just having the consistency makes it easier.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's safer with the NPCs because the NPC seems to do a little better with making sure you don't fucking die. Whereas with a player, you always gotta worry about them, like, they could zone out looking at their computer screen or something, you know, not paying attention for 3 to 5 seconds, and I could be dead, you know. Okay. First boss fight.
Also, usually the party tends to stick together when it comes to AIs. These player, or either just go to the first place they see that's out of the fire.
Yeah, that, and you also got to.
So it could also be a case of like they actually might get into a distance where they actually can't do anything.
Right.
And then at that point, you're just unfortunate placement is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well,
And
you also
that's you
gotta
to the
worry
flop.
about, like, with regular players, you also have to worry about the possibility of, like, if you get another player in that is kind of like a tank DPS style like class, then you also have to worry about that person coming in and like pulling all of the enemies, even though I'm the tank. Like, you don't know how many times I've went to.
Oh, you mean the kind of player that just does not wait and just decides to pull extra mobs?
Exactly. Where it's like, I will even tell them, you know, don't pull, and they'll run, and they'll just pull, like, every enemy in the entire fucking dungeon all at the same time.
There's only one role that should do that ever, and that's usually if you're communicating directly with the tank on that.
Yeah, which even, in my personal opinion, the only person that should be pulling anything is the tank. It literally is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, you pull like a group of like a couple of mobs, then you can easily mow down quickly. But if you want to continue fighting them and then have the physical range like split off for a second, pull them, and then just converge the groups together. Notice that way you can control how long it takes. That's fine, but again, it's usually a duo thing.
Right.
Let's give them a show!
Make sure I get aggro.
You're fine, I'm not fighting right now. Right, alright, I love you. Try to have a good day at work.
What took you so long?
Alright. White
The Amalds are in trouble. Let's split up.
How much are the pulling ones? Oh, these things basically do that damage. I'm good. There's so many numbers on the screen, you can't even see what's below my feet. Also, we're gonna have the dash dissolve. So I might just burn through a lot.
Stubborn.
should be shell attack. Yep. Ow.
You underestimate me!
Away with you!
Well, that boss was a joke.
Don't you love it when that happens? You get like a super easy boss. For
Oh,
it.
no, you don't.
And this is at level 70, so this is gotta be somewhere in Stormblood. I don't remember doing this though. No point. Well, it's probably been literal years since I've done it.
There, even me, like somebody who hasn't played the game anywhere near as long as you have, like, there's already been certain dungeons that I came across during, like, the duty roulettes and stuff that I don't remember doing, like, at all.
And then again, it's been years since I've done Stormblood.
Yeah, that
Quite
probably
literally.
will help.
And it doesn't. A little overkill.
You underestimate me!
Also, never thought I would say this, but in terms of healers, I think the one type of healer I don't need is a white mage, because it just has so much health regeneration. Even on my own. I actually do better with someone that gives me shields rather than health. I still got enough, cool. I just got to get rid of that.
I will not hold back!
Just the beginning.
Oh, okay, I see how this goes.
Do you know?
Yeah, I gotta fight a wave of enemies, and then after I beat the wave of enemies, I can jump up and attack the main node. For a few
Oh, it's that
seconds.
one.
Yeah.
Next boss.
I was about to say, you better pay more attention there, because the healer guy, you almost let me fucking die. Twice. I just died. No fucking way, dude. I actually just died. I can't believe that. Well, I have my limit break ready, so if I need to use it this time, I might have to. Even though I'm a tank, I have to use it for the extra defense. I need to remember to use my Blackest Knight too.
Yeah, it's
That's one of my
pretty much a key
biggest-
defensive.
Yeah.
I think it's unlike the other ones. I think it has a slightly longer cooldown than the rest of the key defensive.
Yeah, it's 15 seconds. The biggest problem with it is that it cost me 3,000 MP to use, which is like almost a third of what I have.
I bombed it.
I don't really need it until the second wave. Like after I get up there the first time. Oh fuck! I'm gonna take damage.
I
from
will
that.
not hold back!
It's one of those.
Allow me. Stubborn. Just the beginning.
That's such bullshit, bro. There ain't no fucking way. beat that boss. Barely, but I did.
Stubborn.
When am I ever gonna get the ability to use my second version of fucking Salted Earth, man? Like, every dungeon I go into, I've never been able to use it.
Is it something that's Endwalker? Because that's probably why.
I don't think so. Oh, we gotta ride. Oh, we get to ride a dragon? Oh, shit. Okay. I'm down. Oh, that's a super cool look. Riding across the green field with a bunch of dead bodies everywhere.
And the DBS walked out right into me like an idiot, but
Thanks for the
it
ride.
was a mere
chick.
scratch. I just literally fell clear 7 times in a row there. That was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you get that one ability, what is it, like, Delirium or Berserk or some shit like that, where you...
In a release, it gives my next 3 uses of Fell Cleave or Decimate.
Yeah.
No Ophiora cost and guaranteed direct crits.
Well, I know that, but I thought that, I thought the Warrior had an ability that gave him, like, 3 free things. Like,
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, okay.
And then you can use Infuriate to give you an extra use of one of your spenders. I just got randomly confused. I bonked it. Two-player combinations between 3 people. I'll take it. Truth as a tank, I'm built different. We're so busted.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Jenny Say, I just now seen your stuff. I know the feeling just recently got to Endwalker, a new game plus on my stream a few weeks ago. What happens? Yeah, playing this Dark Knight. Sorry. It's gonna be hard to time. I just did this fight yesterday night. Yeah, it seems like it's a pretty fun dungeon. A totally didn't even realize there was actually somebody in my stream chat. You know, all the times I look over at my stream chat and there ain't
looks like they
nobody
left, actually.
there. Yeah, they did. Probably because they were talking and I wasn't answering. All the times I look over at my chat and there ain't nothing there. The one time I actually like get into the dungeon and don't look over at the chat and there's somebody.
There's the one time
closing
someone's
up.
there.
Yep.
I mean, there is one person in there, but that's currently having it pulled up on my phone. I just haven't
Yeah,
actually
that's you.
bothered watching because I'm right here. I could have been joining in on the action, but I just had to do it with NPCs. I could have been your firepower, man.
That's alright. Here we go, Lunar Bahamut.
Yeah, that's the fun. On a dungeon of Shadowbringer, so as soon as you're done with that, it's pretty much just a home stretch. Once you're there, still Endwalker. But yeah, now you got me thinking about the legendary weapons of each expansion. Actually, if there's one you could be working on as a side project, you can actually... You can't quite get it going yet, because you have to actually finish Endwalker in order to truly get it going. Well, base Endwalker in order to get it going fully.
What are you talking about?
I was actually about to suggest if you wanted to start building towards a, the relic weapon, you can actually start working towards getting to unlocking the Mandeville weapon early. You
Yeah,
just can't fully start it until you beat Endwalker.
With the relic weapons, I'm going to do the Heaven Sword one first, because I already started the quest for that. And then I'm gonna do Stormblood, and then Shadowbringers, and then Endwalker. There we go.
This is going to leave a mark.
Stubborn.
I'm going to unlock a few more of yours. Pretty cool looking weapons. The story is great for your laughs. Yeah, the story is really good. I've been enjoying the story a lot so far. In and out, running. Leveling on your paladin. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I started as a warrior and then switched to Dark Knight when I had unlocked it. And then, after I finish the story, I'm gonna go back and finish leveling up my warrior. And then, after that, I'll probably start looking into other stuff. Oh shit, I'm gonna take damage from that.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater!
Well, as long as it doesn't kill you, you're fine.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
Unless you got hit with the vulnerability, which I can't tell if you did or not. Oh, you did.
That's fine. I didn't get hit with any of the stuff that he just popped out, so I'm good. Ooh, I hit my blackest night half a second too late. Son of a bitch. It's alright, we win. Have to AFK if you aren't still streaming when I come back. Have fun with the end of Shadowbringers and Endwalker when you get there. Thanks a bunch, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna push through the end of, like, the rest of Shadowbringers and get to the beginning of Endwalker at the very least. Before I end the stream, I do plan on streaming, a different game later on today. Just so that I can make sure that I stay awake until after my wife gets home from work, like, later on tonight. But, yeah, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it, and like I said, I'll be live for at least another couple hours or so, I'm sure, so I'll probably see you later.
Alright. Please war Pagothine. You got 1, 2, 3. Actually, you just finished the dungeon, right? Yeah, you did. Oh, yeah, you got 4 quests after this, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're actually much closer than you think.
No, I know. I know exactly how close I am. I looked at the quest list before I started the stream. Children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall forever be in your debt. By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain, as long as I draw breath. Never again shall the dragons of Narasitia's heart hearken to the lies of the Ashians. This I vow. I have been live for a couple hours now, though, so I think after I finish this cutscene and get out of the dungeon,
warriors,
I
the
think I might go and
dragons
catch a half a
chose
smoke
their
break real quick.
friends well.
Hey, it's the Amalja chief.
Long have our peoples waged war, but no more.
No more. Yeah, I think when I stream later and I play a different game, I'm still debating on if I'm going to start my playthrough for Final Fantasy 15 or if I'm going to start my playthrough for Prince of Persia. I mean, Final Fantasy 15, like, yeah, you know, but I'm not sure if I want to jump, like, right from one Final Fantasy game right into another one. Because, I don't know. I don't want to end up, like, burning myself out from the Final Fantasy universe, so. Not quite sure yet what I'll do, but.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Guardians who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day.
I think next
And
time I
rally as
stream Final
many
Fantasy
as possible
14 too,
to the cause.
instead of just doing the
Till we
MSQ,
meet
I think
again.
next time I do a Final Fantasy 14 stream, I'm gonna stray away from the MSQ for like one day and go and do like some gold saucer stuff, because I'm still trying to get the 1 million points so that I can get the Fenrir mount.
And thus did we make allies
I might
of
go
the
and grind
Amalja.
out some trial bosses to try and get those other 2 mounts that I need to get the legendary Heavensward mount.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of do some side stuff.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
Let's go. Sometime earlier inside the Pagelthan Tower. Wait, what the hell? That's an Amalja. It's a bunch of Amaljas. the fuck is going on here?
What in Ralga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
Get back!
No! What have I done?
It's too late for them! We're leaving, now!
I wonder if each of these different towers all have their own. That's exactly what I thought. Each tower is for a different type of tribe beast. And
Don't
they're
you
using
dare!
the
Yeah.
fucking tribesmen
We came
to
together and we're leaving
resummon,
together.
like, evil
They're literally-
versions of the primals.
Essentially, literally sacrificing the people that,
Yeah.
essentially using the people of the primal they would normally be summoning, except instead of using Aether, they're using the actual
The actual people.
subjects that would actually summon said primal.
Yeah, yeah. They're using the
And twisting them
tribespeople
even more.
themselves. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel, we have dealt his schemes a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. And celebrate I will, when we have received word of Ehrenwald's safe return. And cutscene. Oh, no. Okay. Alright, let me go catch a half of smoke real quick. I'll be right back. Before I start this next one. Oh yeah, this is when the dust settles. This is the last quest in 5.4, I do believe.
Oh, I was gonna say that's 5.5 part 1. Oh, no, 5.5 part 1. Actually, Dan and I were planning on continuing this, so let's not get burned out on this today, and then not want to play this later, because Dad and I actually were planning on playing this weekend. So let's not burn myself out again. I had a bit of a drag out trying to get my Mandeville weapon line. Got the gunblade and the axe, but I just did not have enough energy to see it through for the gun. Well, all the way. Just ran out of steam towards the end. Still not having a tier 2. Not even 3 yet. Oh yeah, I remember the gimmick I was doing, because now that I have Gunbreaker and Warrior with literally the same gear apart from weapon, but still both maxed Manaville. I think I did all my party-based content with Warrior, and then I did all my single-player content with Gunbreaker until I get the hang of Gunbreaker tanking again. Kind of looks like a mafia boss. I'm actually gonna wait. I need to continue playing this.
Alrighty, let's try and see if I can get through this. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave scions. Uh-oh. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the frontistery. Your grace, whatever is the matter? As our troops withdrew from Pagelthan, they came upon 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by the other. Oh no, Ehrenwald got fucked up. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, your grace. Oh shit. Can you tell us aught of Ehrenwald's condition, your grace? The wounded scout. Not save that it is grave. The chirurgeons tend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Psychotic Estinian, would you mind going after Alphino? He may need some support from someone other than me. Yeah, we better go check on him. Make sure he's okay now that his friend's all messed up. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pagelthan. So if there's anybody that hasn't done it yet, if you want to go ahead and smash that like button for the algorithm, really appreciate it. Also, as you see above my head, I am 3 subscribers away from hitting my goal of 200 this year. So if you want to subscribe to the channel for free, with notifications turned on, it would be greatly appreciated. Come on then. I like that guy's outfit. Mainly the necklace was pretty cool looking. Okay, where is this at? I think it's Hustings, I believe. In that section. Yes. Alchemist Guild. Oh, I haven't been over there yet. After all this time. And I've never been to the Alchemist Guild location. Oh, I just ran all the way around. For nothing. Wasted like 3/4 of my sprint. Running around in a big circle. Okay, there's Estinian. Give me 1 second, Alphino. I must attune to the shard first. Okay. Another one come to see the lad in silver armor? Master Damiliot. Damiliot is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Damiliot say? Tell me his exact words. Let them do their work. But you're right, forgive me. When we said our farewells to Ehrenwald, I was afraid something like this might happen, but now that it has, all we can do is wait. That's true. Better just sit there and wait, see what happens. Hope he lives. Why don't you ask Fordola what happened? She was standing right next to the guy when he got injured, like, if anybody could tell you what happened, it would probably be her.
Have you been waiting here all this time?
You know what I mean? Like... He's gonna live. Say it. Say he's gonna live.
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
It could be Demeliot, actually. That sounds a little more like what the Final Fantasy character name would be. Demeliot? Sounds about right, don't you think?
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Cut him off.
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better, and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot'll be next.
Yeah, you know how many times we've heard that.
And what'll
over
become
the
of your
last
precious
4
dreams then?
expansions.
They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Dreams worth
Justinian
fighting
got
for
pretty
don't die
passionate
so
there
easily.
for a second. I was thinking the same thing, like, since when the hell does a Justinian come to anybody's, like, aid? You know, when does he back up anybody? Half the time you can't even find the guy, and then even when you do find the guy, he don't barely ever say nothing, so, like, for him to come out and say something like that is pretty meaningful. Oh, Alphino with his head all down, pouting. Stop your pouting, buddy. Your friend will be okay. Hopefully. I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Ahem, Your Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the 3 of you be joining them? We will. He doesn't really say it much, but I think Alphino was a big part of changing his outlook on life. I think so too. Ugh, my neck.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, He will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On
Chirurgeons,
that
okay,
you have
that's
my
how you
word.
say that name. You know, speaking of names, I have another question because I have heard them pronounce his name Arenvold, and I have heard them pronounce his name Arenvold. So what the hell is it? Is it Arenvold or Arenvold? Or is it both, depending on what type of accent you have? I don't know. I don't
Now,
know.
we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
Yeah, so I think when I go to stream again later,
First
I think I
Bahamut,
am gonna
now
stream
Ifrit.
Prince of Persia
Or
instead.
Lunar Ifrit, as
Take a
Van
break
Daniel
from the
would
Final
doubtless say.
Fantasy universe for a few hours, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers will
Oh yeah, we're
concede
gonna have to
to
fight Ifrit
facilitate the
again now.
summoning of primals by those imprisoned within.
Son of a bitch.
Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the
shit.
same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
You need only tell me where they are, Your Grace. I'll go beat them all up myself.
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Nice. Okay. Right then. Unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. And life intrudes, gotta go eat. You're good. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna keep going until I finish the level 80, prologue quests, and then once I go to start a quest and see level 81, meaning, like, the first quest of the actual Endwalker, that's probably where I'll end up closing the stream down, and then I will probably get myself something to eat as well, and then I might lay down for a nap for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then after I get back up, I think I'm gonna stream a different game, because I also stream other stuff, not just Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, all of that. So if you would like to hang out later, if you have any available time, if you want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel with the notifications on, because it's free, then, I don't know, maybe I'll see you in the stream chat again later. And I will also be streaming Final Fantasy again tomorrow as well. For sure. But thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the conversation. Hopefully you get something good to eat. Been actually trying to do the voice acting for the characters myself. I try to do the same thing. My voice acting isn't necessarily the greatest, because I got kind of a darker, kind of like a deeper, raspier voice. But I try and put emphasis on certain things, and you know what I mean, so it is what it is. Gotta head off to work for the rest of the day.
Rip.
Yeah, that's rough. That sucks. I know how that is all too well. Can't do the deeper voices well. See, that's my problem, is I can do the deep voices good, but I can't do the higher voices, like, at all. So, usually I just talk in my regular voice and try to put emphasis on certain words and phrases and stuff like that, you know, but it is what it is. But again, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. You are now a new subscriber to the channel. Welcome to the Psychotic Army. Much appreciated. And I'm sure I'll see you again here soon. It's more for you trying to capture the way they talk. Yeah, it's hard. It can be pretty hard. But I'll let you go. I won't hold you up any longer. Hopefully you have a good day at work. Okay. Of course, he would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength and readiness for the coming challenges. Yeah, have a good day, buddy. If all are in agreement then, I shall let Kryle know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Yes, I'll try asking him, and thank you, I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryle in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinian. Believe it or not, you will join us, won't you? Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding the Baldesian woman. Because of Alpha know that he's coming back. If I refused, she would only pursue me. Yeah, ain't that the truth? He's talking about Tataru, Estinian talking about Tataru pursuing him, even if he does try to avoid her. That's just his way of saying that in all reality, he's coming with to make sure that Alphino is okay. He just don't want to say it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm actually gonna head out myself now.
That's fine, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
See ya.
See you later. down to 381 grand, I might actually have to go do some dungeons or trials or something so I can try and get some more money going. Which, like I said, next time I stream the game, I was thinking of taking a break from the MSQ and doing some of the side style content anyways. So that's probably what I'll do tomorrow. I'll
Welcome
run through
back.
all of my daily
I expect
duties
you must all
and,
be
the
exhausted.
duty roulettes and stuff.
Ere you
and,
take your rest,
I might,
however, I would beg a
might do a
moment of your
couple
time.
like regular dungeons or something so that I can get some gold.
Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
Everyone's like, what? Sharlayan?
'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly? When Elidibus sought to make warriors of light. That was the voice which calls constantly, to all who might hear it. I spoke of direct communication, when Hydaelyn communed solely with you. A far rarer occurrence.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in his judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
Oh, shit.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now, of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again. Will you join us?
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
I wonder if we end up seeing her again before the end of the stuff, before the end of the prologue. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Man, the game could have gave me a warning about all of these, about these long cutscenes here. Oh, look at him trying to decide which weapon he wants.
Well, does this one meet with your approval? Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, Admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord! We have only to wait for them to quicken! Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Well, well, not quite what I was expecting, though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Of course, the pillar's gonna block it. Bastards. Show me it. Is it the one that I was looking at? 'Cause that's the one I would pick. Of course it ain't gonna show me. Watch, it's gonna be another copy of the same sword that I'm using now. I guarantee it. Well, it looks like I'm going to have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thancred's got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do. But when it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Well then, you lot, more accurately. You won't catch me trading blows with a primal in the near future, but for every fiend you fell, every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, bats to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. Which is where I come in, and gladly, mind you. It's the least I can do to support the scions who risk life and limb, like poor Ehrenwald. I wish there was something we could do for him, but we'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. It wouldn't do to have him come back to a complete shambles, would it? But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go to get some rest, and if there are any developments, I'll promise you'll be the first ones to know. Oh, cutscenes. I got 3 quests left, and it's gonna be like 5 hours before I can finish them. Ah, Psychotic, you're looking well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest? If you came hoping for tidings from Creel, I'm afraid we're still waiting, but we do have some odd scraps of news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has a situation well in hand, thanks in no small part to Hoary Boulder and the others. Meanwhile, talks with the beast tribes are going better than even better than expected. Encouraged by Ulda's progress with the Amalja, Gridania has opened up negotiation with the Ixal, believe it or not. All of which is obviously very encouraging, but with the Telephoroi still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. Sorry, I'm trying to read these things quickly. Begging your pardon, but I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance. A council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo, and your attendance is humbly requested. Ah, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share the news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Telephoroi. In concert with our new allies, the Beast Tribes have also been invited. It is hoped that they will join us in the fight against our common foe, so the Alliance would bring all of the Beast Tribes into the fold at a single stroke, an ambitious plan given the delicacy of the negotiations, but mayhap an expedient one, considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady, and for their part, I am told the Beast Tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions too are all present, all of Eorzea will be represented. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically but practically. Pray inform the Alliance that we would be honored to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. Then I will bear you answer thither with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. Well, now that we've accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? I move that you and Y'shtola lead our contingent. Given how long you have worked to end summoning, it is only right that you be presented for what promises to be a historic moment. And me, of course. I think we've all played our part in that little endeavor, don't you, Psychotic? All present may rightly claim a seat, I do quite agree. But by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defense efforts. I'm not coming either. Emmerich will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well then. While those with a mind to hold to the fort will get on with holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Alamigo, shall we? Ah! It's gonna be like a 20-minute cutscene with this fucking meeting. I can feel it already. We have been expecting you. While some few guests are yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? Well, this is definitely about to be, voice acted, I'm sure. There's no way that this is a gigantic meeting with all of Eorzea for the first time in who knows how long. There's no way it's not gonna be voice acted. It's gotta be. It's that guy from Stormblood, from Kugane. Is that a pixie? It is. Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would! Ah! Beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay! Freed our people must be!
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
Y'shtola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome. I beg your pardon?
What is it, Soulwalker? Do not express your passion thus. A little pretty without gills, perhaps? Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We Sahagin will play our part.
We kobolds have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future, as allies united in purpose.
Make mock of the Ixal, the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets! Pits brother against brother! Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise be!
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
Oh shit, I get to pick the name for this Eorzean-wide alliance? Okay. Shit, dog. Grand Company of Eorzea.
But that's the name I...
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in
Alphino
that we
is
shall
so
ever
pissed.
be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
I thought he was gonna be mad that we used his name, but I guess he's happy. Still looks sad, though. Well, now that we are out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot upon these shores, and that I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet, even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about was the conflict to come, or the sacrifices that would be made and the lives lost, inevitabilities that I still struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, the first of many. Many and more. Hey, it's Kenny Senna. Elder Seedseer, how might we be of service? I seek Master Alphino's assistance in a matter involving Gridania's neighbors, the Sylphs. I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ash Crown Consortium. Through their dealings, they have cultivated relations not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so, it is our hope that we may make use of the Sylphs as established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of our newfound fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the Sylphs are to perform their task effectively, they will require the counsel of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the self-same goal in mind, no less. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Master Alphino. I know that it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception, one intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans all came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideas, the Order was doomed from the first to the collapse under the weight of the worldly interests. And I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you. Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it is worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report including a list of recommendations drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alphino, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray share it directly with the Sylphs. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophoroi and flourish. Until next time we meet, my friends. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should like to hear. Former Braves, you understand. Might you join me in seeking them out? As if you even have to ask, my friend. Thank you. As someone who witnessed the Order's rise and fall, yours would be a reassuring presence. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it will be a lot quicker if we share the task of questioning them. Then mayhap Graha can lend a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events. We should be glad of your company, Graha. I shall explain the details on the way. I'm surprised Alphino didn't come out and thank me for, like, picking his name. So what's the plan, brother mine? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Not long after the fateful day in Ul'dah, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a means of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I imagine that it might later be referred to by those seeking to form a similar organization. And while I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone. Its events viewed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to be the crucial question, namely, why, after the Crystal Braves disbanded, did some members choose to remain with us while others did not? I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new grand company together. And that this knowledge might help us to prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. That is my hope, yes, but the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then Graha and I will just have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. A fine suggestion. Have care, however. Certain of my former comrades are of questionable character. So keep your wits about you and let us reconvene in Gridania later on. If you have no objectives, I have a mind to begin speaking with Riol and Alien. If memory serves, the two of them will be attending an allegiance briefing at the Castrum Oriens. Let us seek them out there. Cutscenes. Well, look who it is, and what brings you two here? Wouldn't have anything to do with the big meeting, would it? In a manner of speaking, I have been assigned a task, you see, for which I require the assistance of some former members of the Crystal Braves. So you want to know why we decided to stick with the Scions, eh? Ain't an easy thing to put into words, that. As Riol will attest, I spent a long time agonizing over my failure to alert you to the traitors in our midst. For my negligence, I was captured along with many others, and we were powerless to prevent the tragedies that ensued. Not a day goes by that I do not think back to those fateful events. By joining the Scions, I hope to redeem myself, and I will continue to serve the cause for as long as I am able. But that wasn't my only reason. When we were finally reunited at the Rising Stones, you refused to blame anyone but yourself for the fall of the Crystal Braves. And in spite of everything that happened, everything you had suffered, you took us back without a moment's hesitation. We would not have blamed you had you turned us away, but when you gave us your trust instead, what else could we do but try to repay it? Nothing, that's what. As for me, own tale, well, I've always felt the Scions had something in common with me old crew. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That was our creed, and I still strive to live by it to this day. But as time's gone on, I've learned that strength comes in many shapes and sizes. From Hoary Boulder to Mistress Tataru, we've all of us got something to offer. And none of us is doing it for personal gain, because we believe there's more important things than that. Things worth protecting, which is what being a Scion's all about. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, my friends. To hear this from you means more than you know. Forgive me, Psychotic, could you... Well, it's founding ideals were something to be proud of, but ideals alone don't make a crew. For every swab who signed up with good intentions, there was another who was only in it for the coin, the glory, or both. Ours was quite a desperate band. Disparate band. And while I will never forgive Ilbert, the fact that we managed to function at all was thanks in large part to his efforts. Just a pity he was doing it all for the wrong reasons, eh? Only takes one bad apple, they say, and the Braves had a barrel full of them. Not like the Scions. We might look like a ragtag band of misfits, but deep down, we've all got that shared sense of purpose. And why? Because Tutaru sifted out all the glory. Hunters, for they made it through the door. I see, so while our ranks comprise a diverse range of people, each with their own individual strengths, we are all united in purpose. Thank you, my friends. With your permission, I shall make a record of our discussion and refer to it when drafting my recommendations. Until we meet again. Ugh. Well, I think we have taken up enough of our colleagues' time, and I am conscious that less life-affirming testimonies await. Let us make our way to Gridania and hear what the others have learned. Getting there, man. We got like 1 or 2 more quests. I think it's this one and one more. Thanks to Tataru's ever-dependable intelligence, we managed to track down a handful of former Braves without any great difficulty. Some were forthright, others less so, but we heard enough to form a picture. I must warn you, Alphino, some of their comments were harsh. I can well imagine, but their opinions are no less vital to my report. I seek the unvarnished truth. Thank you. I will set about adding your findings to my own at once. In the meantime, pray, go on ahead to Little Solus and seek out Elder Frixio. I will join you anon. Welcome, Brave One and friends of Brave One. How good it is to see you walking once again so soon after the meeting. Indeed it has. Though the palace was very pretty, the meeting was far too noisy for this one. So many shouting ones and squawking ones and cheering ones, with no chance for carefree conversation. Still, this one is pleased all ones can be friends. A horned one, Canisena, said the walking ones would be coming to Little Solus. Imperial ones also invaded Sith lands and abducted many of these ones, so these ones will be glad to bear messages between fighting friendly ones. That is heartening to hear, Elder. It will require all ones to work in unison to stop the Talaferoi. These ones will try very hard, of course, but in matters of war, these ones have little experience. Any advice walking ones can provide would be most welcome. Oh, another pretty silver-haired one? And in quite a hurry, it seems. Alice, you must come quickly. Whatever's the matter, Alphino, don't tell me you couldn't read my handwriting. What? No, a Twin Adder officer accosted me as I was about to set out. Charlian has sent an envoy who was due to arrive in Gridania any moment. An envoy? Could it be that Creel has managed to sway the Forum? We shall know soon enough, but there is more. The envoy has requested that the two of us attend the audience with the Elder Seedseer. Really? I can see why they might want Scions to be present, but us specifically? Wait, it isn't who I think it is. It is. I could scarce believe it myself, but when I inquired as to the envoy's identity, I was told that it was one Fortunat Leveilleur. It's their fucking dad? Your father? Well now, the fact that a serving member of the Forum had journeyed here would be surprising enough, but him? Quite. I gleaned from this that they are taking matters seriously. That may be, but why him and not one of the other 98 Forum members, unless he volunteered for it? It has been some time since you last saw your father, has it not? Could it be that he is concerned for your well-being? No. Perhaps, but he has always been reluctant to discuss his work with us. Indeed, and whenever we write to our parents, it is invariably our mother who replies. Nevertheless, I welcome the opportunity to meet with him after so long, even if it is secondary to his true purpose here. Elder Frixio, loath I am to cut our visit short, we must return to Gridania. Pray accept my apologies along with my report. Never mind, there will be time to talk later. This one won't keep walking ones for more urgent matters. Go. The audience will be held at the Lotus Stand, where the Elder Seedseer awaits even now. Let us be on our way. And skip. So I can hurry up and get back there. Oh wait, that's right. We can't get to it from here. We have to go the other way. Butt is starting to hurt. Oh, he ain't here yet. My friends, I thank you all for coming so swiftly. Word of Master Fortunat's visit took us quite by surprise. When the Alliance granted Mistress Creel permission to request Charlian's aid, we did not anticipate so prompt a reply, much less that it would be delivered by a member of the Forum. What the nature of that reply may be, we shall soon discover. There's no way this isn't voice acted. I mean, we're seeing their father for the first time, like, in the entire show. Like, I mean, in the entire game. Like, there's no way this ain't voice acted, right? It's gotta be.
Elder Seedseer, I thank you for granting me this audience. I am Fortuno Leveilleur, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortuno, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health. Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the chance to be reunited with my children at long last. And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisoix, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
All thanks we owe to him. In the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your father's tireless efforts which granted us a means to vanquish the Primals. Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess, however, that I opposed his decision to intervene. And my position remains unchanged.
What? The entire world is hanging in
To
the thread
chart
of
the
this,
course of
this-
history,
this
not
war,
to change
man.
it. I am familiar with the Sharlayan stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life. Who we are. But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
That's so ridiculous, bro. The entire world could end.
May I ask for
Sharlayan
what
included.
reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
The final days. Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves and Garlemald, one in which Sharlayan will take no part. If the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
Would you, though?
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider.
If it all
You may
starts
feel
in a
safe on your
different
little island
country,
across
like
the waves.
a different part of the world,
But if you
how would
imagine the
even know?
Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphino is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before it's too late.
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan. I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline. But I see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure? For all his wisdom, his only solution was to go to war. Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life.
What prize could ever justify such sacrifice? It is the duty of the learned to avert such tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear.
Better to fight and fail than wait for the axe to fall. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, is indolence. It is in your power to save us. Refuse and you condemn us all. I like the second one. Kinda insult him, to be honest, you indolent fool.
I see your friend shares your misguided ideals. But unlike him, you should know better. By espousing such barbaric notions, you subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy. Alphino, Alizé, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
Are you kidding me?
What? Father! How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
Then get the fuck out, bro.
Master Fourcheneau, while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends. Will you not stay and speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the morrow?
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
Father! Wait!
Don't bother, Alizé!
How can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
There's nothing you can do to change his mind. Like, what are you guys gonna do? Turn your backs on the entire rest of the world and go home with your dad? Like, like, what? There's nothing else you can say or do, man. So that's what he came here to say. That we're all fools for having the temerity to defend ourselves against Talaferoy, and as for the rest, like it or not, this was the Forum's decision, to watch from afar while Eorzea burns. Father was but the messenger, and he has handed down their judgment. I could think of nothing to say that could possibly sway him. I still can't. To have prolonged the discussion would have changed little, for it is not only the Master Fourcheneau who must be persuaded, but the Forum as a whole. Their decision was made ere your father crossed the sea. Nor is it like to be changed, and so we shall face a Talaferoy without their aid. Forgive me, but if they had no intention of helping us, then why would they go to the trouble of sending an envoy in the first place? Why did they not simply keep their counsel as they are wont to do? Psychotic? Has Master Fourcheneau arrived yet? Then it is as I feared. My efforts were in vain. I pleaded our case to as many Forum members as I could, but they flatly refused to discuss the matter. No, that's not exactly true. I should rather say that they ignored every word I said on the subject without exception. It was almost unnerving. Could it be that they are hiding something from us that might go some way to explain Master Fourcheneau's performance? When he said that they would know if the final days were truly upon us, I dismissed it as pride. But what if they genuinely believe that they know how the world will end and simply disagree with us about the circumstances? That I don't know, but something tells me they are not as unconcerned about the Talaferoy as they claim. If the threat weren't real, why else would they be so standoffish and secretive? I would very much like to delve deeper into this, but I'm afraid I've exhausted every avenue of inquiry. Nor have I fared any better with my other mission, researching Heidelin and the Ethereal Sea. I tried enlisting the help of experts in the field, but it appears the Forum has forbidden anyone from cooperating with us. Obstructed at every turn. So it would seem, but don't lose heart just yet. With all the knowledge and acquaintances we have between us, we can still find a way forward. To that end, I would like you all to join me here, when the time is right, of course. I am aware that matters in Eorzea stand on a knife edge, but with your permission, I can at least start making the necessary arrangements. And so you shall, albeit under less than happy circumstances. It may take a while to secure entry for you all, but I'll let you know when everything is in order. Look after yourselves in the meantime, won't you? Your speculations give me cause to hope. Yet, if these seeds will bear fruit, I cannot say. While it is possible that Charlians hide some secret truth from us, there can be no certainty that its exposure will prompt them in a change of heart. And so, for the present, we must needs confront their plight with which we find ourselves. The Forum has refused our request for aid, and it falls to us alone to contend with the Telophoroi. Even with all of Eorzea standing united, there is no guarantee that we will prevail. What does Charlian intend to do if we fail? And I do believe this next quest is the last one. While Charlian's stance is indeed disappointing, we cannot allow ourselves to be distracted from the challenge before us. There is much and more to be done. I shall begin by sharing the Forum's response with my counterparts in the Alliance. Meanwhile, I would ask that the Scions... Grave tidings, Walking Ones. Grave tidings. Calm yourself, my gentle friend. What has occurred? These ones who went to see Feathered Ones send terrible news. Destroying Ones have appeared in Selvato. Destroying Ones and captured Ones, and even frightful godly ones. Feathered Ones didn't stand a chance when we were sent flapping and squawking. When did this happen? Is it too late to help them? Too late, yes, much too late, but luckily Destroying Ones were only passing through and continued on west. Feathered Ones who did not fight were left unharmed. West? Would that be Kurthus? My lady, the Ishgardians report that the Telophoroi have emerged from the eastern highlands of Kurthus and are marching at speed. Though their purpose has yet to be determined at Cardinal Flats, the Cardinal Flats would seem their most likely destination. Lord Amaric has already dispatched his forces and requests our immediate support. Tell him he shall have it. The time has come for the Grand Company of Eorzea to prove its worth. Well, mayhap it is a mercy that we do not have time to stew upon our misfortunes. Come, my friends, let us make haste to Cardinal. But wait, this one almost forgot. Destroying Ones were said to be led by a cackling rogue one. This one must see that all Walking Ones know. Farewell. Fucking Van Daniel. Van Daniel? Who else? It was only a matter of time before that grinning maniac showed himself again. I shall have an airship ready to bear you to Cardinal. Pray see to your preparations and report to the landing with all haste. At once, my lady. Let us away. Here we go. Oh, wrong way. Psychotic, it would seem Fordola here has come all the way to Gridania to find us. I have explained the situation, but she insists her business is urgent. Aye, and it'll be over sooner if you shut up and come with me. Okay. It's what's-his-face, isn't it? She took his ass out the hospital to come here and speak with us. It sure is.
Arenvold! I can't tell you how good it is to see you.
It arrived a lot sooner than expected, eh? The day I craned my neck up at you.
Only because you're sitting down. Unless...
He lost his ability to walk. No fucking way,
Afraid so.
dude.
The Chirurgeons say I may never walk again. Come on, Alfino, it could be worse. Besides, I didn't come here to dampen the mood. Quite the opposite. All I've ever wanted was to fight for a cause I believe in. But my fighting days are over. So I want you to fight in my stead. Be the hero I can't.
I am no hero.
That's what they all say, though. No one ever calls themselves a hero. Even the ones who eat primals for breakfast. It's for others to decide. Look, Alfino. You already are a hero. To me and countless others. We see you doing your damnedest to protect us all. And you're not alone, are you? There are people who believe in you, just as you believe in them.
Adventure isn't over yet.
I know what's at stake, and how many people are depending on you. But I believe in you. Believe that you'll see it through. That's why I'm entrusting my dreams to you. Like Albert and Owley once entrusted their dreams to me.
There was a time when I would have borne the weight of such expectations without a second thought. But now, I know just how heavy that burden can be. To tell the truth, I'm beginning to wonder if I chose the right path. Sacrifices will inevitably be made for the sake of the ideals I uphold. Maybe I am not the person I thought I was. The person you think I am.
I wouldn't presume to tell you. But I will say this. In spite of everything, you've come this far.
The road ahead might not always be clear, but you've never been one to give up or take the easy way out. And everything you do for others. For a brighter future. I'm proud to call you my friend. Well, I've said my piece, so I'll let you go. I know you've got more important things to be doing. Just give what I've said some thought, all right?
I shall, my friend. And we will meet again soon, I promise.
Nothing left for me to do but wave and smile.
You've got a pretty narrow view of what it means to be a hero, do you know that? You think they're all forged in the fires of battle? That it's all about being brave and killing villains? Alphino and the others will carry on their fight. But theirs isn't the only one. There are other ways you can make a difference. If you stop feeling sorry for yourself and put your bloody mind to it.
There's not much chance of me living the quiet life with you around, is there?
If you're content to twiddle your thumbs thinking of what might have been, that's your lookout. Then I reckon you've got some fight left in you.
And I reckon you might be right. If there's a way I can still help my friends, I'll bloody well find it.
You can tell me later what that was all about, but judging by the set of Alphino's jaw, it appears to have done him some good. Banquet and the others have already left the Rising Stones, and according to the communications officer, Amalia and Kobold forces are also inbound for Cartano as we speak. They mean to keep the promise they made in Alamigo, and we must do the same by saving as many of their tempered kin as possible. Anyway, the airship is ready to depart. We should get going. Okay, this is probably going to be a little bit of a thing. So I'm actually going to stop here. That way, the next time I go to stream, we could actually finish that, get through all of the cutscenes, and be able to actually start in Endwalker. Rather than going through the whole fight, doing all of that, getting through all the cutscenes, getting ready to start the expansion just to end the stream. I feel like I'm going to cut it off here. So with that being said, if there's anybody that sees this after the stream is ended, if you want to go ahead and smash that like button for the algorithm, I would really appreciate it. It helps a lot with spreading the content to other people's channels and feeds. Also, as you can see above my head, I'm trying to reach a goal of 200 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, if you want to go ahead and hit that red subscribe button underneath where the video is playing with notifications turned on, I would greatly appreciate it. It's 100% free for you guys. It only takes a couple seconds, and it really does help the channel a lot with the growth and this and that. And with that being said, until sometime probably later today after I get some food and eat, this is your boy, your main man, your favorite streamer, Psychotic, saying,